So, oh my god, I see the play. We go for Hullbreaker. Then we get this copy. Oh my god, like this is insane. Look at this stuff. Hello everyone, it's Sloth here, and we are back with some more DIMIR. This one is much different. It's not a real control deck, even though it has control elements. But as you can see, it's already visible. Sheoldred Restoration, Graveyard Shift, and our favorite Jin-Gitaxias. So, Restoration and Graveyard Shift. Of course, those are reanimation spells. You want to reanimate one of your 7 drops as soon as possible. And what is interesting, like Sheoldred's Restoration has a big drawback, but at the same time, being able to cast a 7 drop on turn 3 basically, if you are on the play, this will make your opponent just simply scoop. Like if your opponent sees a Hullbreaker against his 3 mana, he will just check his hand, check it for a removal, draw a card, and if he doesn't get removal, he just scoops. That's the experience with this deck. Of course, in order to reanimate stuff, we need to have it in the graveyard, so that's where the rest of the deck comes in. We have 4 Considers, 4 Tainted Indulgence. This card is frankly the most important engine for all of this shenanigans with reanimation, and Kaito. And this is probably the only deck ever that you sometimes prefer to get without attack on Kaito, so you discard a card on top of drawing. Sometimes it's just simply better than just drawing card. It's funny. I had situations when I had the ninja and I drew before attacking. Just because I wanted to discard one of the 7 drops, because that will allow you to cast Sheoldred Restoration on curve. So that is the idea. You consider into Tainted Indulgence, into Kaito. Sometimes you don't even need the token, sometimes you just go straight up to +1 to cycle through your deck faster. You have some refill in the form of Silver Scrutiny, but it's more of a late game when you just need to draw into spells or reanimation or like some of the pieces when you are both out of gas. But until then, you are just going with your engine for discarding and trying to cast this on curve. The only thing that you need to be careful is that this will cost you 7 HP. That's a lot. So even if you didn't take a single hit during the game, you will be at 13. This means that you need to be a bit more careful about how you play, and this is why we have 4 March of the Wretched Sorrow. Basically, this is to offset the Sheoldred Restoration life cost. You can also remove pesky creatures, the ones that enable the synergy, things like Anointed Peacekeeper, Talia, the things that really mess your game plan, or just are like the main key point for the opponent decks. You cannot really remove everything. For that reason, you have drag to the bottom. We have this game plan. It works pretty nice. We can get it up to -5, -5. The only thing you need to consider that with Jin-Gitaxias it might sweep your own board, so play carefully. But it is a good sweeper in this deck. It did its job. It kills Adeline, it kills Jeans, it kills basically everything. I had some troubles with 5-color like decks, because they have this enchantment which ends up as a 6/6 in the end, and this is a little bit above the threshold, so that's why we need a March of the Wretched Sorrow. But honestly, it's not the game plan. The game plan is Jin-Gitaxias copying our stuff, so we get overwhelming value in this deck, and Hullbreaker just getting rid of all the rest. One of the cool things about this deck is also that when this dies or this dies, you don't really care, especially if you have 7 mana. You can just use Sheoldred Restoration with a kicker, and then you actually heal 7 HP and get the creature back. So as long as your opponent doesn't get an exile effect or he doesn't run counter spells, like if he has 2-3 cards, you just spam Jin-Gitaxias, he tries to kill it and you get it back and he cannot kill it anymore, and then he's absolutely out of gas, and you start to dominate the game and you probably win. So this is the game plan, this is the idea behind the deck. Of course, we have double triumphs to support drag to the bottom, and I really like how the deck plays out. But, a little but, this is a reanimator deck. A lot of things need to go well, and it's not great in the current meta, to be in all honesty. There are Make Disappears, there are Graveyard Trespassers, there are a lot of traps for this deck, and sometimes you just don't hit all the parts. You need a discard, you need a reanimation spell, and you need one of the 7 drops. So it's very dicey deck. It's probably, like, I don't feel this is a competitive deck, so play it more of a for fun thing. But when this works, this will absolutely obliterate some opponents. It will make like hilarious plays, and this is probably one of the few ways you can actually start having Jin-Gitaxias early in the game consistently, because this is like you can even go 4 instead of Hullbreakers if you like this style. This is just one of the decks that can enable Jin-Gitaxias to its full potential, and I think that's fun enough, and I think it's worth the try. Of course, you actually can answer any situation, you can win against any deck, because we have answers for everything. The problem is you need to get a very specific cards at very specific times, and sometimes it just won't happening, and then you die. So that's how it is. The honest version, but I think it's still a really fun deck. So try it out, especially if you like Jin-Gitaxias or DIMIR or Reanimation. It's a different direction for the DIMIR, but it's definitely a something like fresh. I didn't see this kind of deck, and I knew I will make it since the start of the set. And as always, don't forget to subscribe if you like the channel, if you like some nice brews and nice Jin-Gitaxias shenanigans. This card will be on the channel, like always, so don't worry about this one. And with that being said, let's go into the games, and I hope you will like them. Alright, we're going first with Consider and some birdie action, so I'm pretty happy about it, honestly. We're getting a little bit flooded, but it is pretty good. It is pretty good. Let's start with the island, of course, just to make sure that we can dump into grave. Well, actually, let's see what the color our opponent is playing. He might be going for mono black, and mono black means that Trespasser is a thing, and you need to play a little bit differently. Alright. Yeah, I will definitely take this card. Alright, another Consider is pretty sweet as well. And let's just go with it. Heartstabber will give us a little bit more time, it will help a little bit with everything. And drag to the bottom starts to be a thing right now. Let's play the blue for Consider. And you know what? Let's do it main phase. Okay, we don't need more. Yeah, exactly, that's something I really wanted to draw. Damage does not matter, and I want to threaten that Heartstabber dies, because that's not really what you want to see. We will actually have quite a lot of mana costs, man. We will have 1, 2, 5, and 0 if we discard the land. But I think drag to the bottom is the play. Okay. Yeah, that's so much value that we will get. So he wants to attack. Alright, how do we do it? So do I play it now? I don't think I can activate it anyway. Maybe with this one? Yeah, I cannot activate this one. So let's take the hit, see what we get. And there is a chance, maybe. Yeah, we are close, and now we will know exactly what we need to finish the thingy. Alright, so 2, 5, 1, 0. We could go for Kaito, but that's actually our next turn play. We could also go for the restoration. You know what? Nah, we don't need to. I have a plan. Okay, I have a plan. A sneaky, sneaky little hobbit plan. But first, let's do what we should do. Easy, mid hook, just better. Nearly. But it definitely will slow him down so much. He went for an extremely greedy setup, so he just went all into the setup phase, so he can just capitalize next turn like crazy. But he risked this turn, and that's what will probably lose him the game, honestly. We can reanimate anything at the instant speed. We can just go with Kaito, because this means that Jin-Gitaxias will be discarded. Oh man, there will be a lot of Jin-Gitaxias this game. It will also be at instant speed. He cannot kill Kaito, so this will probably hurt a little bit. So it's 4 or 5 damage, depending on how good he will play and draw. But then we just play with Jin-Gitaxias, and I don't think he will be super happy about it. Yeah. I honestly think Hullbreaker might be even better than this. Let's play the Raffine Tower. And with Graveyard Shift, we don't need to fear anything, basically. Kaito did such amazing work this game. Man, it's actually insane. So we need to let him play for a moment so he taps the white mana. This way Hullbreaker cannot be killed. And when we start getting stuff, it will be easier and easier. Let's see the attack. I'm not sure what oh, okay. I thought he will attack Kaito, honestly. And he ignored... Man, the disrespect to Kaito was just brutal. I mean... This is pretty good. Hullbreaker is amazing, but you know what is more amazing? Having 3 creatures next turn. There is a chance he might do something, but I don't think he will. Alright. And now the fireworks. Oh, you love to see it. You love to see it. Actually, we can just go for this, I think. One of the abilities. Which one? Let's go for this one. Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. So, oh my god, I see the play. We go for Hullbreaker. Then we get this copy. Oh my god, like this is insane. Look at this stuff. Oh my god, and next turn we can double the Consider. Man, we will kill him very quickly. I think he has like 2 turns and he's dead in the waters. Circle of Confinement. Honestly, this one is not the worst. And we can get it back anytime we want because of Consider. Don't forget, Jin-Gitaxias will copy the Consider. So it means that, yeah, that's what I thought. This is the real card that he wanted to play. He doesn't have white, but he didn't play a land as well. So I think it's time for Consider. Alright, let's return the spell. That's the first one. And now let's copy the Consider. It's... You know what? It's a spell, it will get doubled. It's good enough for Hullbreaker, so I will take it. And drag to the bottom seems pretty fine to me. Oh, I guess it doesn't get doubled because it wasn't cast as... Like, yeah, it's not cast, but we still get the value. And as you can see, he cannot just go through this. It's too much for him. Alright, we are going first. Well, we are pretty on a good road on the Sheoldred restoration, so let's go for Consider as soon as possible. I think we should be able to reanimate on turn 4, to be honest. Like, this is as good as it gets in this kind of play. I don't think I want the heartstabber. Like, I want to dig into some kind of big creature, because that will allow me to play the restoration. And we actually got it. Man, this will be a 4-turn Hullbreaker Horror. Let's see if Mono Green can stand it. I somehow don't think so. Alright, so we will discard the Hullbreaker. Easy. We kinda have a lot of lands, but that's absolutely fine. So we can actually go for Kaito. That's really good. That's really good. We can make a ninja. And not only will have Hullbreaker next turn, we'll also make sure that we keep drawing cards every single turn. Alright, our opponent swings for 2. Cool, super cool. He doesn't know what will happen very quickly. Let's attack first. And let's see the card, just in case. That's a Kaito. And you know, let's get some fun, I guess. And that will be probably a Hullbreaker. Hullbreaker against 2 mana of our opponent. Well, I mean, I would be discouraged on his place. We also have Consider and Kaito, so we can double spell and bounce. Basically, I have all the board right now. He cannot kill Kaito even. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Alright, probably the most strange opening hand I have ever seen in my life, but thanks to the Triumph, yeah, like with Triumph I think we can make it work. Drag to the bottom seems to be performing pretty nicely here. Like, you know, it's not a mid hook, but sometimes it's a mid hook. Our opponent is tanking like crazy on his red hand. Do I have enough smoking creatures? Do I have 1, 2, 3, 4 to win the game because I'm a good Magic player? We will see in the next turns. Of course we hurt by not having a 2-drop or any kind of, you know... Okay, it should be Rakdos, right? But you know what? With Raffine Tower and launch we can set up for the rest of the game the domain. Yeah, not sure if there will be a 3-drop. Like it should be Fable, right? Let's go with Kaito first. We need to dig into like the good stuff. And this might be one of the few decks where we actually don't mind discarding. I just want to dig through the deck so we hit the correct cards, you know? And it also pressures them more. Anvil. Okay, so we get rid of one of the artifacts, but he had so far nearly the perfect opening. And this has to be dragged to the bottom. Let's draw first. Or you know what? No, let's make a creature. Okay, we drag you, and you are at the bottom. Cool. He doesn't get the artifact, so that's pretty good. And I think we can skip one of the draw, just to set up the additional creature. Like, this will be a little bit annoying to him. Fable. Fable is annoying as always. And he will make another thing. Like, the Anvil was so irritating here. Hullbreaker. Okay. Man, I actually want to discard. Oh man, but let's still draw. Drag to the bottom as always will win the game. And it also pressures him to actually like respond to our threats. Let's go with Consider first. So we see what we get. Okay, that's a shorted restoration. We can play it right now. But we did not discard. I told you, discarding is sometimes better with Kaito in this deck. We could have Hullbreaker already. Oh, that's painful. I guess let's play like this, right? Yeah, we just go with Tainted Indulgence. The extra damage hurts though. How much is the kicker? We need 7 mana for this. Maybe we'll be forced to use it. Let's see what we draw with the Indulgence. I think we have some options in the deck. Yes, go for Kaito. This saves me so much HP. And I have another one, so I don't super care. And Kaito already did his job. Okay. So he will. Okay, so he wants to get another creature, so he basically draws 2 cards for free. But he doesn't hit us, so that's something. But yeah, pretty scary board, honestly. Oh, the game would be so much different if I discarded faster. Maybe that was a mistake. Maybe I should just discard it in advance. Like, we have to do it. We have to do it. Not sure if we can serve. Man, that's a lot of lands. That's way more lands than I would like to. We lack what? 1 mana. That's so lame. That's actually 1 mana. We have to play it, right? The other choice would be to play Kaito and just champ block. You know what? In this situation I think it's okay. We can even cycle the Raffine Tower, I guess. Let's just make sure we survive. Like, the difference between losing 7 HP and gaining 7 HP, like, man, it's kinda huge difference. Okay, and we got the full value from Kaito, that's kinda sweet. Like, he thinks that we win with Kaito. What he doesn't know is that it's just a filler to cycle the deck and just drain him out of resources. Okay, but I think we just cycle the Raffine Tower. This is super annoying, the treasure things. I will tap out. Maybe he will play more and we are bound to drag to the bottom at some point. I mean, if we double block, we invest 2 HP only. And there's chance he will put more into the battlefield. Also, this is the best Opnix list target, which we don't want to see. So I tried it like this. Yes, exactly. So he invests more cards into the graveyard, into the battlefield. Like he gets a little bit of cargo, so that's unfortunate. But Brights will do it anyway. So not much we can do about it, honestly. Let's drag them to the bottom. He will start with another token, as always, but you know, it is what it is, and with the restoration, like, that's so important right now. I kinda fear Infernal Grasp or something like this. Double Anvil is irritating. If we have enough cards we can make it work, but it's really hard, and he can keep sacrificing them to drain the rest of the HP that we have. So let's go with the kicker version and gain some HP. That will definitely help. Man, the kicker thing is sweet on this one. Back to 13. Easy. Oh, this gets exiled. That's good to know. Well, the anvils are basically doing the mid-hook thing, slowly but surely. Oh yeah, so he got the stuff. That's definitely painful, but we have Takenuma, so maybe we can hit something. I'm surprised he sacrificed the token. I think that was a mistake. Like, he wasted 1 damage every single turn for the rest of the game. However, let's see how we draw. We keep drawing clans over and over. What the hell is this? Okay, haste. It's kinda nice card, honestly. Like, it can be slow, but it definitely gives some cool value sometimes. So that's a Hullbreaker. Like, you know what? I'll take it. Like, it has flash, so we will at least trade with the token. We won't trade with this one because of the menace. And later we can get this back with Takenuma, so I think it will just die to some kind of removal, but it is best we can do right now. Man, that's already 3 damage. Alright, so he gets new tokens. The anvils, man, the anvils were the only problem this game. Oh my god. And he will make another one. Alright, that's a Celestus. If we use Takenuma, we can get back the Kaito, and we can start actually cycling a little bit. It's not the worst, right? Celestus heals us. And I think Kaito is a little bit better overall. And we have 2 mana left, so there are cards that we might be able to play. Ooh, those are pretty decent cards. You know what? Heartstabber is just better. Yeah, we can play everything now. Okay, like, we are getting slowly somewhere a little bit. He will get new tokens. He will sacrifice them in response, so man, it's not easy. Like, you cannot work around them very well and ever. But at least we get some cardo. We try to make it work. This one at least dies for free. And he cannot attack very well. We cannot attack him yet. Oh man. Is it too late? Oh yes, because he goes for 3. Oh, that sucks. It was so close, but we probably played something wrong, didn't we? I think I messed something for sure. Yeah, probably the first Hullbreaker I didn't discard it in time. That was a good game, well played by our opponent. Well, definitely good opening and good soul transfer, but still, we both had good cards, so in the end I think better player won. Alright. This is probably one of the few situations when I will get a hand with 3 7-drops on my opening hand. Oh my god, are you again the mono blue? Man, those guys. So many of them. Let's get rid of the Hullbreaker. Yeah, 1 Hullbreaker can go. Jin-Gitaxias is also okay, I guess. Okay, and it's not mono blue. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. In that case, I will give him the target for some removal, but he doesn't have any removal. That's so good. Okay, so we seem to be against some kind of slower deck, and that should really give us an edge. Man, I kinda want to discard, but I have already 7 drops, so I guess I don't need to, like, super much. And we are doing all of the 7 drops from our deck, and that's fine. So the dog, usually it's a dog, but he needs to answer Kaito, I think. Oh, he will just ramp. That's fine. So this looks like an Emperor. It definitely looks like an Emperor. Let's go for Silver Scrutiny. I think that will be a good moment to cast it. And maybe we will bait the Emperor or something. Yeah, we did. So with Kaito we don't super... Oh, he went for the token. That's interesting. We cannot really punish too much. But let's just keep attacking the Emperor. Like, it will prevent the -2, and that's a big deal. We draw a card. Okay, we have 4. So this has to be the Hullbreaker, right? Or whatever we were having. Yeah, the Hullbreaker. Seems like a good card for a 4-drop. Definitely a lot of damage. Do we kill the Emperor? That's my question. We can. We can exile the Indulgence. But honestly, I don't think Emperor is so scary. We can do it next turn probably. And I want to get rid of the tap plant anyway. With Hullbreaker, like, he needs to kill it. Problem is that white has a lot of ways to do it. Alright. Memory Deluge is not one of those ways. He's trying to find it. I wonder what kind of removal he plays. Destroy Evil? Yeah, like... They didn't find the answer and the game is absolutely over. They cannot deal with the Hullbreaker. Alright, so what about this hand? We have drag to the bottom. I will take it, it's far from great. We need to draw something, but I hope that with double Tryon we can drag to the bottom until end of the game. Probably Anointed Peacekeeper. How did I know that it will be planes into Anointed Peacekeeper? Because that's probably the only thing that counters what we started with. He just plays a 3-drop, Anointed Peacekeeper, and drag to the bottom, and then we will be set. Maybe it's not this. Like, with Naturalist, I guess it's more of an enchantment deck. And I'm super happy about it. Okay, because, like, Anointed Peacekeeper would absolutely destroy our hand. With drag to the bottom, I think we should kinda win, honestly. Like, he just tries to go super ramp. Yeah, he probably... Oh, that's... Oh my god, he's so greedy. And he will get so punished. Okay, I'm feeling really great by now. So, is Jin-Gitaxias better or Hullbreaker? I kinda feel that Hullbreaker will be better for this, but let's draw cards first and see. Yeah, Hullbreaker is just a little bit solid. Like, more solid. Okay, my turn. A lot of triumphs. Takenuma is a really good card, but we need to sweep this turn. So we don't really have an option to just play the tap lands. We will have them during next turns, and maybe we play Jin-Gitaxias for a mana. Wow, that was enough to make our opponent scoop. Well, drag to the bottom definitely doing some heavy lifting today. Goes first. Man, I'm so sad. I just had the most epic game with Jin-Gitaxias. He carried the whole game. It was like, honestly, that was one of the most epic games I ever played with Jin-Gitaxias. And guess what? I recorded 1 minute of this game after 20 minutes of playing. Because my hard drive was again full. Man, I'm so sad. I was so excited. That was the main game for the full video. Oh man, we need to make it work. We need more Jin-Gitaxias this time. So let's start with the Tainted Indulgence into the Hullbreaker. So we have already target for our reanimation spell. We did it this way so it cannot get countered, because that was pretty important play. Alright, and how do we do it this way? I think we just go with the Kaito. Like, Kaito can be countered. We just want to get rid of all the Graveyard Shift, like you know, counter spells so Graveyard Shift can trigger. Leyline Binding is okay. It's always a little bit annoying card, and there's nothing we can do outside of just waiting all of them out. It's just a premium card for the matchup. Alright, so I guess we attack for 1. 19 turns to go. Man, I'm still so sad about that game. Oh my god, that everything was perfect there. Oh man. Okay, anyway, back to this game that we will try to make equally epic with Jin-Gitaxias. We definitely have a good opening here. Like, we can draw so many cards very quickly. We could even get Takenuma, honestly. Is it conditional? Let's end the turn. So, military card, then return. Okay, so we cannot, you know, decline in any way. So, yeah, that's a bit of a downside in this kind of deck. You need to hit 2 creatures, but you can just get Kaito or something like this if you hit it. Alright, so first of all, do we go for Silver Scooter? This seems like a super sketchy mana, so I prefer to get stuff that is not easily countered. Or like no big cards, you know? Alright, so what we have? 2/7. 2/7. Drag to the bottom is good target here. Okay. And let's go for Consider. It's a card that basically nobody wants to counter ever. March is okay, but it's not perfect. We have better cards than this. Alright, and let's start our turn. For this particular turn, I will go with Takenuma. It's kind of funny, because if we attack with the ninja, a creature attacks, so Kaito actually gets the full benefit, and they really want to counter it then. Like, make disappear won't do it. And we got the engine already. So even though they answered previous Kaito, the leftover is enough to make a lot of trouble for them. Fateful Absence or what? Or another binding? They really shouldn't have another binding yet. Okay, and we say go. Phase out. Okay, Kaito secured. Oh man, we need to make this game as epic as the previous one. Alright, drag to the bottom, definitely not the card for the matchup, so we probably cycle it. If Ninja dies, we don't supercar. I'm pretty sure that this will not live, but let's check. Our opponent has 5 mana and 6 cards, and he's playing control. There's no way this attacks, right? There's no way. Not a possibility, right, Xanatar? Do you want to steal some cards? Of course you do. Okay, so our opponent is really tanking on it. And he decided to let it through. I think he had the option. He just for some reason doesn't want... Maybe it's Fateful Absence, and he just doesn't want to go with it. Oh, he won't be happy after he sees another Kaito. Alright, cool. I appreciate your input. The problem with Kaito for him is that it's pretty cheap. So Make Disappear doesn't make it. I think he might have Make Disappear in the hand. And he needs 2 of them to counter. Single Kaito. And at some point he will run out of his leyline bindings, you know? You cannot make it forever, in a way. Okay, let's go with the Triumph. I don't think it will be a huge deal, but that's something. Maybe we should just cycle it to put a 5/5. Okay, that's a lot. He's down to 4 cards, and he still needs to answer Kaito because, you know, this game was definitely basically like Binding versus Kaito Wars. Like that's kind of weird, but it is what it is, and we are winning it, so I'm pretty happy. And you can see by the cards, right? All the Kaitos really benefited us in the card advantage game. And he's forced to, man, sorcery speed 4 mana removal just to get rid of the 1 token. And I don't mind really. Like, I have enough cards to keep cycling. Yeah, this will be cycled. Do we have something to reanimate? We kinda have. I still think he has Make Disappear, you know? It really feels this way. So let's do it main phase. I think it's a good decision. We can pay Make Disappear, and if he tries to kill it at the end step, we just use March for 1 mana. So I think it's as good as it gets, and even if it dies, it's fine, as long as he wastes a lot of cards on it. I just want to point out it's the 3rd leyline in his top 14 cards. That's pretty ridiculous. Okay, So he will choose the Hullbreaker, and that's absolutely fine. We play it for 0, and we will deal 0 damage to our Hullbreaker. And suddenly, our Hullbreaker is back into the hand, and we can cast it at the flash speed. Leyline Binding was basically nullified. He's down to 3 cards. Okay, this one is huge. This one is what he was waiting for. But Kaito was exiled. Hullbreaker is still here. Alright, can we make it work? We have what? 7 mana exactly. Exactly. So we will discard a card. It's kinda okay. We could also just draw a lot of cards. I mean a lot of cards. This will be a 6/6 out of the reach of drag to the bottom. Oh man, that's a hard choice. Maybe we just go all in. He doesn't get card advantage from this, right? So let's just go crazy with the Cardo and go for a little bit longer game instead of trying to just simply raise him. 2 cards. Exile effect from the graveyard. I think he doesn't have it. Or maybe I hope he doesn't have it. We will see. We will see. We have enough of the other stuff in the worst case. So we will discard 1 card. It's probably dragged to the bottom, right? Target non-land. Oh, that's a good one. Okay, okay. Took me a moment, but my brain processed the situation. Yeah, it doesn't mean the opponent card. It can be anyone. Oh. Discarding drag to the bottom seems a little bit worse right now. But still. But still, we have good things here. We are not really super pressured, to be honest. So I think we just go for the cheapest one, basically. With no kicker. And let's just go crazy with the card roll, shall we? Alright, so let's return. Let's just kill all this little stuff. It's probably the easiest. And we can basically do a lot of considers if we really care. Let's wait for the Leyline Binding. It's annoying, but it is what it is. I don't want to bounce it yet, because he can just replay it and get the full value. That's not great. Alright, let's wait for the target. That's a target, and let's start doing the things. First one. Alright, that's definitely not the card we want. Drag to the bottom is the card we want. So let's just save the Hullbreaker. We don't die yet, and with drag to the bottom we can make a lot of plays. This is kinda annoying, to be honest. I want to have a lot of small mana, so we can cast Hullbreaker and still bounce this card as much as we can. Greater Tanuki. Okay, it dies. That's not a problem. This one is a problem, though. We will be short 1 mana, right? Okay, okay, okay. We need to think about this one. We didn't hit Jin-Gitaxias, which is unfortunate. That would answer everything. We can. We still can. I think let's start with this and see if we get Jin-Gitaxias. Okay, March. March is a pretty decent answer. Okay, we definitely need a lot of mana for this turn. Let's go drag to the bottom. No priority, so that's really, really good for us. And I don't have 1 more mana for Graveyard Shift, so that's fine. Let's just go for 4 then. I think extra mana is important. He's down to 2 cards. Man, this game might be as epic as the previous one. We just need Jin-Gitaxias. Yeah, it is nice. He had such a good draw with the bindings and Kami War, and I think he's still losing this. We are at 20 cards. You know what? I will play around. Like, with this deck we want as many cards as we possibly can. And even if he kills the Hullbreaker Horror, in this deck we don't super care because we just get it back. Possibly even the same turn, very often. Sphinx. Sphinx is definitely annoying, but it's not the strongest card that he can play. Alright, let's go to the end step. Let's play the Hullbreaker, see the priority. I don't think there's a priority. And that's really good. Let's cycle so we can hit a spell. Well, I mean, it is a spell, right? Did he have... I didn't see the populates or anything like this. And for outside of Farewell, I don't think there's anything that we need to fear. And with this kind of cards, he shouldn't play Farewell, honestly. So, I mean, that's pretty good. I think my game is actually lagging right now. So we have 3 Graveyard Shifts and 2 Hullbreaker Horrors. Okay, that I feel gets the confirmation of epicness that we needed. He can replay the Sphinx, but it means he has only 3 mana, and I will just cast it on whatever. Okay, this Exiles. Okay, that gives him a little bit of time. That definitely gives him probably one of the best draws he could have. He drew it because he would play it before if he could. So definitely let's keep attacking. So he can bounce our Hullbreaker. We discard a card, that's absolutely fine. We still didn't hit a single Jin-Gitaxias, by the way. And not... right? Only one Hullbreaker in the full deck, basically. All of them are like at the bottom, basically. Alright, alright. We discard a card. I think it's Graveyard Shift. This can cycle into a spell. Maybe you should cycle in response, but I don't want to show that we have something like this. Do I need a target for this? I actually don't know. I fear that we need a target. But maybe we can play it anyway. Okay, that's absolutely fine. Oh, he wants to sneak the line. He wants, you know, to bait plays before. So we let it through, definitely. He's very close to that. Like, he's actually really close to that. Yeah, we cannot cast it. We cannot cast it. So let's cycle. I hope I made the stop. I fear that he will do something in response. He didn't. That's really, really good. Okay. I mean, that's a hard one. Do I attack? I think I need to attack. Because we cannot play Takenuma first, because then he answers with the line 9. I need him to start with the line 9. We can cast everything at instant speed, we just need something that is a creature. Man, we are down to 15 cards. All of the creatures are like on the bottom 5 cards of our library. Like, we hit 2 creatures this game. Okay, he did it. He finally did it. If anything, we will answer the target. So we can do it right now. Okay, this is the moment to do it. Now we channel, and we should hit the creature. We really, really, really should. Oh my god. All of the creatures are at the bottom 5 cards of the library. Man, we will actually lose this. We will actually lose this because we didn't have any target for reanimation. That's insane. We basically drew everything, except the key cards for the deck. We only got 2 of those. What? It seems that I have clicked something. It doesn't matter at this point, but... well, it would be great to, you know, not click the first button that gives our opponent 5 cards for free. Well, he can just farewell now. No, he lacks 1 mana. Man, I think that with last turn we just absolutely lost with this draw. Man, it's still on. I promise you, all of our cards are here at the bottom 10 cards of the library. We have like 2 or 3 Jin-Gitaxias and another Hullbreaker. And we needed them to win this game. Well, that's a good game. A lot of top decks on both sides, but... well, I hope you enjoyed the game. I think it was a good close game, but we were on the losing side of the draws in the end.